Hey there, this is OneUpIndie here, giving you hopefully a pretty sweet information about which marketing platform, but of course all in aggregate are better than just one, but of course which one is the best way how to generate Steam wishlist. And then in the end you will see that there's actually a silver bullet, and it's actually pretty significant, and I have not seen anybody really talking about it. So just to give it a context of why I'm actually doing this. So for my community on my side, I just said like, hey, what do you guys think is the best important marketing way of generating Steam wishlist, and then of course follows, and then in the end conversion into sales. And then the interesting part is the perception, and then later on what the reality actually is. And this is kind of interesting because people overestimate this dude here, the bluebird. No, not looking so good. So just to see, well, the perception and then later on the hard reality. Most people say like, hey, influencers, streamers, so basically your Twitch streamer, your YouTube streamer, whatever, and then they're just playing your games, and people just say like, cool, wishlist the game. Pretty accurate, one of the most important ones. So here you guys actually got the perception correct here. Then Twitter, the mighty bluebird. This one, I must sadly say, is the least, and I have to repeat it, the least effective of all. The bluebird is not mighty on wishlisting, maybe on other things, but on wishlisting, nope. And then TikTok, people just say like, TikTok, go away, it's just memes and I don't know, young people dancing and doing some stupid stuff. Well, the stupid stuff is really important. So once again, TikTok, yes. And then the old press, the old guard, so your IGNs, your PC gamer, whatever they're all called, and maybe your publishers and so on, which you have to pay, by the way, have an impact. Is it as low as this one? A little bit higher, but it has diminishing returns. And then Reddit, if you're thinking, Reddit? Yes, Reddit is important also. All right, so without spoiling, let's go into the interesting section where I get my informations from. So here, this guy is actually doing that professionally. He is a marketing consultant, so he uploaded a video. Here, it actually shows you what the reality is. A link in the description below for the whole video. Highly recommend to watch it. It's 1 hour, but it's giving you a really, really good insight into what maybe to avoid and what is actually good for marketing and for placing your game. A lot of stuff compressed into one video about wishlisting and the Steam platform as such. Highly recommend to check it out. But here's actually my source of reference. Let's actually do some drawing stuff. So the reality, people said Twitter, and this is your Twitter. Sorry to beat on, well, the mighty bluebird, but the mightiness has fallen quite a lot, or maybe was never there around. So what you're seeing in front of you is marketing activities. For example, you post once, or a streamer is playing, or a Twitch streamer is actually playing your game, and what kind of spikes you are getting for wish lists. This is important to understand, and this was on aggregate, I guess of, what was it, 80 companies, and then they just gave the informations out. So on average, you have small returns on Twitter. Can it work on Twitter? Yes, it can, but the return on investment and the effectiveness is quite limited, and it's limited to a specific branch. If you want to know that, check out this video. Here, this is gone for good. And then we got the old press, the IGNs, the publishers or whatever. These guys you have to pay. They have really fastly diminishing returns also, if you just look at this. So not the best ones. They can work, but for indie developers, first of all, should you spend money? I would say nope. Then the next thing, which is free, Reddit. Reddit is actually pretty decent for finding out the games. So for example, you just create some GIFs and whatever, make your marketing campaign, put from time to time some cool stuff about your game, and here this is where you wanna have wishlist getting as a thing which you're getting back, which is pretty sweet. And then of course we go to our streamers, and our streamers are below TikToks, and you're thinking that doesn't make any sense. For example, if a 10 million Twitch streamer as playing my game, this is definitely more impactful? And the answer is yes, it is absolutely true. But just take into account that most big streamers don't play the small potato games. So the chances of him playing or her playing your game is extremely small, and then you got tons of small potato streamers, like for example on my side. I'm not actually streaming, just YouTubers or whatever, and mini influencers, whatever you want to call that. Then the return on investment is extremely low. So here it has some impact, but it's not that great, but it's still the third best option in any case. So once again, contacting and just saying like, hey, play my game, and then out of 20 maybe one plays it. That's a win for you. So streamers, super effective. So once again, yes, these guys are pretty sweet. And then for the memeing, the TikToks, as it seems, as a platform, this is pretty good. And I guess it was a survey from 2022. So as you can see, it is still relevant, and TikTok for an aggregate and sustainability is pretty decent, so it's not falling off too hard. So therefore TikTok is even beating streamers. And then we go to this thing here, and you're thinking, festivals, what is that? Like some carnival with fireworks and I don't know, popcorn and stuff? Not exactly. There's actually a silver little bullet, and this is the secret tip from my side, and I guess I just took it over from him, where you have 4 Steam festivals. You can only apply for your game once. If you have a game and you want to appear on the festival, and if it's good, it converts in huge spikes. And as you can see, this is the biggest one for getting wish lists on the festivals. But this is a silver bullet which Steam gives you per game once. So choose it wisely when you want to use it. And then Steam festivals are just for the weekend or whatever. I guess just for the weekend, nothing more. But here in this short time frame, you can generate quite a lot of Steam wish lists, which is super important, and this is the way, the king's way, as it seems to go. But of course, once again, the gold standard is to have all of these guys here. But of course, Bluebird, the less amount, the most amount here, which is just the return on investment. And of course, as just a thumb of rule, it makes sense to have a continual basis of marketing, which you just pump out stuff so people can see more and more and more, and then at some point you can harvest that input energy as wish lists in the end. So once again, this is not just like 2 days before launching. This you can maybe do if you're I don't know, just releasing Starfield or whatever. But for us, well, indie developers, we need to grind it out a few months before the actual release. So hopefully that was good information for you guys. Hopefully I could compress it a lot. Once again, link in the description below. Check out the whole video. Super sweet. Of course, just take it with a grain of salt because he's selling, and therefore he is a little bit biased, but once again, he's helping companies for Steam sales and so on. So therefore these informations could be quite accurate for you. Alrighty, that was it from my side. Have a good one. One up indie.